Good morning. It is Wednesday, September 22nd. Sorry about the poor video quality. It's very early, and but I didn't want to get out a video devotional. Maybe encourage some of you guys. As you saw, the title is No Christian Easy Button. The word for the day comes from Hebrews chapter 10, verses 32 through 35. Now remember, this is just prior to the whole Hall of Fame of Faith chapter that's coming up, but you want to be encouraged and see how some other people had to endure some hard times in their life. You can go to that. But today, Hebrews 10, 32 through 35, the author writes, "But recall the former days in which, after you were illuminated, you endured a great struggle with sufferings, partly while you were made a spectacle, both by reproaches and tribulations, and partly while you become companions of those who were so treated. For you had compassion on me in my chains, and joyfully accepted the plundering of your goods, knowing that you have a better and enduring possession for yourselves in heaven. Therefore do not cast away your confidence, which has a great reward." The reason it got called No Christian Easy Button, if you remember a couple years ago, Staples had that whole easy button thing where you push it, and that was easy. That was what would come out, and it just took that great, brilliant marketing. It took the business world by storm, and even if you go to staples.com now and go to look at the reviews on the easy button, they're still for sale. You'll see how much of a motivator it is. Unfortunately, there's nothing in the Christian walk that can do that and make life that easy, but your mindset can change and it become easier to walk the walk. The big thing that we need to understand as Christians, that I have to understand, that I'm currently enduring in various facets of my life, is that sometimes life is very difficult. Sometimes we have to endure things. Now, many times people sign up for the Christian life thinking everything's going to become so much easier. And then unfortunately there's so many pastors out there teaching that it's just life's an easy thing when you're a Christian. And it's not. The reality is it's not. Jesus endured great hardships, and he said, you're going to endure hardship. And if we follow what the author here in Hebrews is saying, he gives us at least some reasons why we have to go through some of our hardships. Nobody likes to endure hardships, but it's easier for me to endure hardships if I have a little understanding of why I'm going through it. The author of Hebrews says two different things, right? He says, one, that you're made a spectacle. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means it's giving you a testimony. Other people are watching you endure your hardships, and they're looking to you for guidance. They're looking to you to see how you handle what you're going through. And if we handle it well, if we can consistently and constantly seek God and seek His face, regardless of the circumstances surrounding our lives, then we're going to increase our testimony, okay? And we're going to glorify God in the process. That's a good thing. Another reason that the author brings this up and that he alludes to is that the author says, partially you're going through it so that you can become a companion of those who have gone through it. In other words, Jesus was clear that we're to love God and love one another, that we're to bear one another's burdens. By doing so, we are fulfilling the law of Christ. So right there, I think that was what Peter wrote. And so if I endure hardship, I'm going to be more apt to understand when you're enduring hardship. If I go through my Christian walk and I have no struggles, how am I going to relate to anybody else that's having struggles in their Christian walk? And God wants us to be able to relate to one another. He wants us to be able to have compassion on one another, that we can give of ourselves, give of our resources to others when we see them struggling. But if I've never walked that struggle and don't know how burdensome that can be, then how am I going to have compassion on somebody else? You can't expect them to. So I thank God when I endure my hardships, because it's given me a better understanding and allowing me to, again, partake with Christ in some of those things so that I have a greater understanding that He seemed to always have. And that's the goal, right? To become more like Him. So if you're going through hard times today, don't lose heart. Take confidence in whatever you're going through, that God is, as long as we're seeking Him, we're seeking God first, we're seeking to honor Him, where we've got a willing heart to hear what He has to say. As long as we're seeking God and we're looking for opportunities to bless others, then we can take great confidence that no matter what we're enduring, that God is doing a greater work in our lives, that He's purifying us. He's putting us through those testing fires of faith, or allowing us to walk through them, so that we can come out more like Christ. That's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing. It's not easy. There is no easy button to always rescue us out, but what it is a more beautiful journey than you could ever expect. Blessings to you guys. Have a great day. We'll see you again.